Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh, Baha Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Baha Hashem, Barak Kadash. All praises, honor, glory, love, respect, faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and my Heavenly Big Brother, Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much for what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. And double honors to your apostles and elders and bishops of GMS, Great Millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world, teaching this truth and none but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power, Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shah. Trying to put a spiritual bug in your Hebrew Israelites' ears, you so-called black Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, and New Indians, and you speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? That be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations, like, for example, a Hebrew Israelite that look like a so-called white person, or so-called Chinese person, etc., etc. Got some videos lined up on United States servicemen being tested for low testosterone levels and chemicals in the food that causing cancer, and then AI data centers that's causing cancer, and then what else? Autism, and I guess in vaccine shots or certain drugs and shit, causing people to get autism or whatever. And something that, I don't know, this is some cure, so-called cure for cancer or treatment, that therapy, nigga, please. Whatever. Anyway, polluted, but just pollution on the earth. Goddamn pollution in the air on the earth. And people can't read for shit. And time moving by fast. I'm going to play these videos. I'm going to get into the scripture my best ability. Say whatever God say through spirit and power. How about Shema Shah, the Holy Spirit, the Kurhak, Kadash. Lord willing to be on me. Let's get it.
Today, I'm authorizing a new screening program for testosterone deficiency for our service members, ensuring you have the right testosterone levels to operate at your absolute best.
You got fucking this devil, this snake, this Edomite telling you we're concerned about the man's testosterone level. Shit. Stop putting fucking soy in the food.
Thank you so much.
Hell, motherfuckers have all this damn estrogen.
Much for tuning into the Jimmy Dore Show. My name is Misty Winston. I'm the guest host for today. The dancing queen over there is Kit Cabela from Hardlands Media. Please check out Hardlands Media. This makes me laugh a little bit. So, forged by the T, Pentagon launches testosterone screening program for troops. This is pretty funny. So I don't know that I really need to read the article necessarily. Maybe we'll go over a little bit of the details, but I have a video from Pete Hegseth himself. So just under the new program, the secretary said service members age 30 and older will be tested yearly for testosterone deficiency as part of routine health assessments. Troops under 30, meanwhile, will have the option to be tested. So it's not forced or mandatory or anything if you're under 30. No, listen, to be fair, testosterone levels in this country have been dropping. So I'm not necessarily against this whole program necessarily. It's just
why is it dropping? Because of the food and the water.
Yep, bingo, bingo, wingo, bingo, wingo, lingo. Yep, bingo. The food, the water, hell, and even close to air. Shit, they put chemicals all in that shit to make people weak, men weak. Faking the funk, and that's one thing I can't stand is a motherfucker pretending to be tough or manly, but this nigga is weak. Especially when he under pressure, danger. When there's danger. But anyway. But yeah, man, it's the food.
Water and the environment.
And hell, the clothes we wear.
A lot of reasons. Our
vaccine shots.
Habits, the fact that most of us are sedentary, like there's a lot of stuff going on, but yeah. So the decision to receive testosterone replacement therapy, if recommended by a medical professional, will remain up to the individual service member. I'm happy for that. Nobody should be forced to take anything, any medical procedure ever. It's about restoring.
You got a fucking Edomite supremacist concerned about man's damn testosterone level. Like, nigga, please. Shit. You yourself, this bitch ass nigga got low testosterone level. Shit. And I'm like, whatever.
And optimizing your natural capabilities, protecting your longevity, and ensuring you have the biological foundation required to sustain the fight. So basically just saying that, war is hard, when really war is like just drones these days. So I'm not even really sure. But I mean, it's just basically, can you like fly a little drone on a little thing? So here's, he did put a video out on this though. So we'll just take a listen to this.
Department of War, we have the most elite warriors on the face of the earth. Every single day, you are pushed to your...
Yeah, and a lot of them niggas wear lipstick and probably wear pantyhose underneath all that battle gear. and these are niggas. Shit.
Absolute physical and mental limits to master the profession of arms. We demand your all, and you give it. But while we invest heavily in our weapon systems, platforms, and gear, our most decisive tactical advantage will always be the individual warfighter. We have a sacred duty to maintain that advantage which is why we must constantly look for new ways to optimize your performance, your resilience, and your long-term health. And to meet that commitment today, I'm authorizing a new screening program for testosterone deficiency for our service members, ensuring you have the right testosterone levels to operate at your absolute best. Because it's well-established science that as we age, testosterone levels often naturally drop. Under the supervision of our world-class medical professionals, warfighters age 30 and older are going to be tested annually as part of their periodic health assessment. It's a health assessment that happens every year. We're just adding this test. Those under
Hell, low testosterone dropping at the age of 20 or teens because of food.
30 can voluntarily choose to get the test as well. If treatment is recommended, it's entirely your choice to receive testosterone replacement therapy. This initiative, it's not about artificial enhancement. It's about restoring and optimizing your natural capabilities, protecting your longevity, and ensuring you have the biological foundation required to sustain the fight. We owe our warriors the absolute best medical care in the world, and this program delivers on that obligation. Taking care of your long-term health means ensuring you remain strong, resilient, and capable, not just for your next deployment, but for the rest of your life, so you can thrive.
Like they care about the rest of your life. They want your ass to go out that battlefield, shoot some motherfuckers up, and take your territory so these niggas can make money.
Long after you take off the uniform. As we know, the modern battlefield is brutal and unrelenting. It requires and demands maximum psychological and mental readiness. And by addressing these health markers early, we're keeping you on the leading edge of lethality and giving you the same level of support that you give this nation, the absolute best. Godspeed, keep going, and God bless.
This is the fake ad you see everywhere,
God damn, I fucking hate this shit.
right? But this is Ebony, a real game. Now I know what you're thinking. Aren't they exactly the same? No, because Ebony is the real number gate runner game. Gotta try it, huh? Nobody ever believes me, but this really is.
Oh, I have a thing I want to bring up here. You know, it sounds like he's telling our troops to get the jab or else. Sort of like what happened in a thing in 2020. There's this virus going.
Yeah, and the jab is contributing to this shit. Now, anyway.
Around, you don't get the jab, you're not going to be healthy and fit. You don't take this testosterone boost. Oh, looks like there goes your military career. Is everyone going to get it from the 4-star general all the way down to the private first class? I don't know. I press X.
I never knew they had a testosterone booster. Well, Esau got a thing for everything. I mean, got a solution for every problem.
It's the doubt.
And it creates more problems.
Because this is all very suspicious. Or either that they're trying to create space marines. Either way, this is all suspicious to me.
Yeah,
Very
it's
suspicious.
weird. It's weird and it's funny. And I also wanted to cover this too as an excuse to make fun of Pete Hegseth. And listen, I could have found so many videos of this man working out that we can make fun of. Because I get it. He's like a Marine and everybody's like, oh, you. And I go to the gym, okay, 5 days a week, have for years. I lift, but I still look like this because your girl likes to eat. But I lift heavy. And this bro has some of the worst
I have to
form.
correct you. I'm so sorry. Pete Hegseth served as an infantry officer in the Army National Guard. He ain't one of us. I'm a Marine.
Okay.
He ain't one of us.
Whatever.
He ain't one of us.
Whatever.
Just wanna
He's
throw
still
it
a
out there.
turd who has some of the worst form of anybody I've ever seen. Like there's little old ladies that go to my gym that have better form than this guy. So here's this one. Just this again. There's literally dozens of these. I could have picked dozens of them, but this one just made me laugh, obviously because of the Trump stuff.
She gets it.
What is that?
Whoa.
What is he doing? What is that? What is that? Like that is
Whoa.
wild work.
Oh, I'm seeing this. Wait, rewind this again. Hold
His
on.
wrists. Okay.
What is this?
Hold on. Right? It's terrible. Hold on.
Whoa.
When she gets it.
His wrist ain't straight. He's just bent.
What are you doing, homie?
What's he doing?
Homie.
It's insane. And seriously, there are so many videos that I could have posted. There are so many videos that I could have brought, like him bench pressing. Oh my God, him doing kettlebell swings is a sight to behold, y'all. Insanity.
No, you
Absolute
gotta be
insanity.
firm. You gotta up.
Yes. What is
firm.
this? What is this?
This isn't this.
What is
Don't do this to your
this?
wrist. This.
No, it's like those are no reps, my guy. Every single one of those is a no rep.
They
All of
don't
them,
count.
all no reps. And I don't even know, like, is he trying to do a thruster? Because he's like
That's a weak ass Edomite right there.
bending down, but he's like he's not squatting. I don't know what he's doing, but it's not good.
horrible form.
Whatever that is,
Pete.
it's not good.
Pete, buddy. You know, hey, this is where like somebody from the gym.
Alright, enough of this. Yeah, you get it. They trying to boost up testosterone levels. Because they all fucked it all. They fucked everybody up, especially all the men up. Basically, I mean, they were really trying to go after you Israelites. Because, you know, with that testosterone, what does testosterone do for men? What does testosterone do for men? Testosterone is a primary main sex hormone. It drives men's physical traits like muscle mass, bone density, body hair, and deeper voice. It also regulates sex drive. Yeah, libido. Yeah, goddamn Jake be goddamn gonna get it in. Yeah, gotta get it in. Get the stroke ad. That's what I be doing. Be stroking to the east. Be stroking to the west. Yeah. But then Esau want to stop that shit. No more stroking. We gotta put chemicals in your food and start off with the youngins with the candy and the soda pop. Yeah, put some shit in there, and then you got putting soy all in your shit. And look, it's backfiring on these niggas, but they don't care as long as they goddamn get you Israelites acting like, you know, low energy and shit, and not have the urge to wanna, oh, it says the drive to creation of healthy sperm. So no populating for you Israelites, but we're still populating. Yeah, that's the reason why all these it's really you Edomites that's the one got the low testosterone the most. And that's what this faggot talking about. Yeah, y'all niggas, these devils fuck their own people up. Because meanwhile, Jake is still having babies. And they having babies for judgment. Yeah, because a lot of them babies either going to be judged or them babies going to be delivered. But Jake's still having babies. Especially them Northern Kingdom niggas. Them niggas, they're constantly having babies. Shit. Let's get to the next video. This devil here. Oh, I'm so concerned about the man's because testosterone. And I'm like, yeah, it's really y'all people, the Edomite male. And you got these two, I'm assuming they Edomite. They making fun of this nigga. I love it. Let me let the video keep playing.
Jim pull him aside, like, man, what are you doing? Let me help
Bro,
you.
I'm a chubby 44-year-old mother of two, and I lift better than that. Like, what are we doing here, my guy? What are you doing? What is this?
And then to do what you can
yourself and put it out in public, like for the world to see. I would never, if I lifted like that, I would never in my life put that on a public platform. There's no chance.
Yeah,
I would be embarrassed.
This definitely does not inspire fear with his counterparts in Russia, China, or even North Korea.
Nah, they laugh at that shit. That's entertainment. Them niggas in Russia and China be busting center blocks with fucking they fingers. Boom! They be busting them motherfuckers with their fingers. And shit, this nigga here. I don't want to say.
Yeah, they're like, what are you doing?
Have you no shame? Like, I assume, I mean, he looks like a pretty fit guy. Like, he looks like he's...
All right, man, let's get to the next one.
6:34 now into a new fight for Florida's Attorney General, this time over a hidden additive found in everyday items like bread and flour. The state is now investigating this and targeting some household name food companies. Fox 13's Heather Healy joins us live now to explain. Heather, good morning.
Hey, good morning to both of you guys. And that's right. It's a chemical compound that's found in a lot of baked goods and breads that you're going to see on store shelves. And Attorney General Othmeyer is making sure that everyone is aware of this. It's called potassium bromate, and it's a baking additive that helps dough rise. It's a chemical compound that is a dough conditioner found in everything from, like you just said, loaf flour and bread and a lot of baked goods. It's been linked to several health concerns, including being linked to cancer, hearing loss, and inner ear damage, and damaging effects to the central nervous system. It's also allowed here in the U.S., but much of the world has it.
It ain't just, I don't want to say just bread, but any baking shit, I guess.
And like Canada, the UK,
being crackers and whatever.
Countries part of the European Union, China, India, Brazil, Argentina, I can go on and on. Attorney General Othmeyer held a press conference in Orlando yesterday, inviting many in the medical...
But I'm just like, why they put this shit in the food in the first place? Oh, it as preserved, it keeps the bread more last longer preserved. Word, for real? Man.
Field.
Whatever.
To speak on this, including a chiropractor.
That's what they'll say.
Who's been practicing for more than 20 years. And he says not just with chemical compounds like this, but as a whole, our country's health is declining. And it's something that this country needs a wake-up call from.
When we talk about things like wellness and prevention and the health of our country, it's sadly not doing very well. Just a couple of statistics so we understand where we're at. Our healthcare system is currently ranked 69th. There's countries, even though we've been watching the World Cup probably, there's countries above us that you've probably never even heard of that are getting better health outcomes than we're getting in this country.
Yeah, but there's a lot of folks that's from those countries to watch the World Cup. Their health is depleting too while they're eating here in America. eating all this shit, their health starting to go down the drain. Once they go back over to their country, they gonna get a hangover though. But then they gonna get back to normal. I mean, normal health or whatever. Once they start eating their own food. But hell, you start eating this shit over here, boy, y'all ain't gonna be shitting out bricks or something. You gonna be clogged up. Something gonna be wrong with you. You be gaining weight, getting bloated and shit. Man, this place sucks, man. America.
And of course, everybody knows that we spend the most. Another startling statistic would be that we're ranked 53rd in longevity. That means there's 52 countries that live longer than us, and it continues to decline.
Wonder why? Because of the fucking food. The American Edomite, that nigga's a devil, bro. And I'm talking about like the elite, the people that's controlling the food. Hold on 1 second. What the fuck? Ah, man. But anyway, the food is all jacked up, and man, we gotta get out of here. Let me get back to the video.
It's pretty sad to hear. He goes on to say that 50 years ago, the U.S. was ranked in the top 5. We're getting
50 years ago, when people were actually eating real food and growing their own food. But what went wrong? Esau. I mean, they're getting all these chemicals and such. And now, boy, these niggas gone mad, bro.
Sicker and need to be asking questions. Now, the Attorney General goes on to say he's going to be issuing subpoenas to companies that do buy in.
Subpoenas? Man, what they gonna stop putting? Man, we gotta get the fuck out of here. It's just like that. What that fag ass nigga, John Ossoff, whatever the fuck, nigga, talking about some. He signed a bill to stop child abuse. Child sex trafficking. I'm like, just shut the fuck up, nigga. Sit your ass down. Go dig a hole and jump in that motherfucker and let somebody put that dirt on top of your ass. Your ass don't deserve to live, nigga. Talking about some. I created a bill. I created a bill to stop trafficking of children, and people still gonna be trafficking children. What the fuck a piece of paper gonna do, nigga?
Sell products with potassium bromate in them, starting with General Mills and their subsidiary company,
General Mills,
Pillsbury. So we're gonna keep you on air, updated on air and online.
Fuck these niggas. Best see, we gotta get the fuck out. It's not just the bread. It's fucking everything. It's everything that's fucked up. And pharmaceuticals, yeah, that's one. Yeah, they make a lot of money when your ass is ill. They'll have something that can ease the pain, but that shit also fuck you up too. Oh my goodness. Shit. All we doing is eating drugs or chemicals. Shit that ain't even necessary to put into the food, but they just throw it in there anyway. Ezekiel chapter 4 verse 13. And the Lord Yahweh said, even thou shalt the children of Israel, you talking about you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you speckled birds. And hell, this ain't, I mean, America ain't the only place that's dealing with all this, putting all these chemicals in the food and shit, trying to kill their people. I mean, they trying to put a little bit into like food in the UK and Japan, whatever, a little poison. But America, them niggas put barrel loads of poison and chemicals in your food, and the food looks fine. Shit. But it ain't funny thing. You let the food sit out for so long, that bitch will still look fine for months. And you got the natural made bread or whatever, that shit will be all moldy and rotten. Yeah, because that's real bread. After so long, that bitch ain't gonna be staying the same. God dang, man. Anyway, I'm not really surprised. I'm just so tired of this place. Eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles. We eating defiled bread among the true heathens over here in America. All these, and you see a lot of these damn, especially, man, these niggas. Anyway, whether I will drive them, so this is punishment for you Israelites. Yeah, man, that's some shit.
Comes to all of this is really just the first domino that's falling in this, Laura, but it's really interesting to really
hey, man, it's the first domino, but yeah, it is the first domino, and it's gonna probably be, it ain't gonna make the second one fall. Yeah, it's barely made the second one fall. That's why we're praying like heaven, Lord, get us out of here. Meanwhile, food is fucked up and toxic. Now they want to set a data center right behind your house or in front of you, right beside you. Hell, they put data centers right underneath you. Hell, they want a data center in your home. And it's going to be creating cancer. Let's get it.
AI needs a better network. Models are larger. Are AI data centers a risk to our health? This is a question almost no one is asking, even as governments and corporations race to build thousands of these facilities around the world. Now, the public has been told that AI requires more computing power, more electricity, more infrastructure. What the public has not been told is what are the risks to humans, especially those of us who need to live by them. Have the necessary studies been conducted? Have the findings been released? Are we able to, in fact, give informed consent? Well, Theodora Scarato is the director of wireless and EMF programs at the Environmental Health Sciences and has begun to warn the public about this. We are remiss if we don't listen to what she has to say, so thank you so much for coming to tell us this story.
Thank you so much for having me.
So why don't we start at the beginning? Because the last time I spoke to you, we were talking about the risks of cell phone radiation, wireless technology in the house. You pointed out how the government has had copious data about the risks and has suppressed it. So is this a similar story? Can you tell us what we mean? Let's start there by AI data centers and what we know and what we don't know.
Yeah, this is a huge, but actually easy when you look at what's going on. We have these massive hyperscale data centers, which are acres and acres consuming tons of water, millions of gallons of water. There's air pollution from the diesel generators. There's EMF exposure from the facilities themselves, as well as these corridors. So when we talk about AI data centers, we're talking about these massive buildings, as well as all of these lines of power lines that are going to and from them. There's 765 kV lines being built to service the data centers. And there's the water pollution, there's PFAS contamination from the components in the data centers, and heating of the land just from the facility itself, and land being taken by eminent domain. So there's water.
I was just walking around just thinking, like, you know how Gad or Reuben, they be like, we want our land back. We want our country back, our land back. Man, fuck this land. This bitch is through. It's through. And they got a lot of you so-called Native Indians or Seminole Indians or whatever. Your ass sitting on top of resting on top of a land, radioactive soil and shit, getting cancer. Man, fuck this fucking shit. Fuck this damn land. Seek the Lord. Pray the Lord destroy this bitch and then put you in a new body so you can feel. You should be feeling the way you should be feeling in a new body instead of feeling the way you are in these decrepit bodies, man. And just like right now, shit, I'm in some fucking pain right now. Boy, it's hard for me to sit. I can't tell you why. But, man, I wouldn't say I'm embarrassed, but I just don't know why. I'm thinking hemorrhoids, but I don't know. I might as well go ahead and say it. But, boy, it is hard. I don't know. It just came out of nowhere. I guess I put too much hot sauce in my food. I don't know. But, shit, that's what God damn, that shit hurt. And doing the number 2, that shit, I feel like I'm razor sharp. That shit hurt like hell. And I'm like, is it the food? I don't know. But man, that shit fucks your body up and then all the shit we are consuming in our body. That's what we gotta get out of here, bro. I hope it ain't no damn tumor or some cancer. Well, that shit will suck. I ain't even going to no doctor. I don't want no doctor checking that area. Fuck, I don't want nobody checking that area. Fuck, I just don't want to. Fuck that shit.
Air, land pollution. It brings together all.
Shouldn't be bringing stuff like that up because it's personal, but fuck it.
Of the environmental health issues that I've been working on for years.
Okay, so any one of those components we can discuss because the water pollution and the radio frequency that is put in and around the neighborhood. Which one should we start with? I don't know. You choose.
Yeah. Well, I just got off the phone with a group from Maryland, and there are groups in Virginia, Minnesota, Texas, all across the country working on the issue of the EMF. So let's just start with that because it's an issue that has not been given as much sunlight as it needs.
Okay, explain what that is and what we know about the magnitude of it.
Yeah, so EMFs, electromagnetic fields, are invisible. And when you have high voltage power lines, they come off the power lines. They're electric and magnetic fields that come off. EMF is a term you'll hear. Magnetic fields is a term you'll hear. There is consistent science showing associations between the EMFs, the non-ionizing EMFs from high voltage power lines, and childhood leukemia. There's a research that was just published showing increased dementia and Alzheimer's in people living close to high voltage power lines. And there's studies showing increased miscarriage. So there is a broad range of scientific endpoints that have been studied, and safety is most definitely not assured. But there are no federal safety standards. So we have these limits that industry has brought forward. Like if you hear that there's a power line coming, and it's for the data centers, okay, this is all for the data centers to serve them because they are so power hungry. They're voracious, the amount of power they need. People are finding out, they get notices that part of their land is going to be taken for the power line, or that the power line that's already there is going to have even more lines added to it or more power put on it. And they're not being told what are the EMF levels. They're not being told how much it's going to increase. And they're certainly not being told that this exposure has so much science behind it.
You might think that there would be a test case for people who work in these data centers having indicators of poor health overall, but is it too soon to know something like that?
I would think so, because first of all, there are not many people that work in data centers. They have a skeleton crew. So you might hear,
that would indicate that they would know there's a risk.
Well, it's because once everything's built in a data center, which can take years, there's not many people working in the data center like you would in a factory, say, where you have so many people. Now, so the other kind of EMF I should mention, because you're talking about the facility itself, the engineers would call it harmonics or interference. It's when the clean wave, the wave of electrical power that's coming through on your lines is basically contaminated with other frequencies that cause erratic spikes. So a term that's often used is dirty electricity, harmonics, or interference, because it's really interference. So dirty
Alright, I ain't gonna get into all this. If you want to watch the rest of the video, be my guest at the title, they're gonna say, they got a question mark saying, are people getting sick from AI dancing? Hell to the yeah. And many other things, other stuff. Here's another one talking about some 90% of autism. A Duke scientist named the one drug, and it's not the vaccine. Oh, I thought it was. Well, it was pretty much one of them. It's all that shit. Let's get to it.
Hey guys, welcome to the Kim Iverson Show.
It's a 1 hour video, which I'm not going to play all of it.
Thank you so much for joining us. We have a very fascinating and important show for you tonight. For years, parents have been told there's no known cause of autism. And whenever anyone raised questions about the possible triggers, the conversation usually just gets shut down before it even begins. But recently, we've been told that one of the most common medications in America may be causing autism, Tylenol. And the findings aren't new. The evidence pointing in that direction has been dismissed for years, not because it was disproven, but because the scientific establishment refused to listen. Well, our guest today has spent nearly 3 decades studying immune dysfunction and autism. Dr. Will.
All the shit that's going now is coming out and surfing. There's so much more out there that we don't even know about that's fucking people up. But man, come on, it's not what to say everything is. Anything this devil comes out with that's, supposedly gonna help you with your health is really fucking not. It's like, man, look, man, we used to be eating food packed with vitamins and minerals. Now they want to tell you that take our pills instead. That's packed filled with vitamins and minerals. But why am I eating a pill when I can just get it out of food and it can fill me up? Plus I get the nutrients. They gonna tell you it ain't enough. Yeah, it is enough, nigga. And hell is enough. They just don't want you to eat right. Eat good. Shit. They want you to buy they fucking pills. Fuck this shit, man.
William Parker is a chemist and scientist who is with Duke University. He has more than 27 years of research experience. He's perhaps best known for discovering the function of the human appendix, which is quite the accomplishment.
All right, man, can you get to this nigga already?
Here. Well, this is a big topic. A lot of people take Tylenol. And a lot of pregnant women take Tylenol. In fact, doctors, I think, recommend it. They say, if you have a problem, take some Tylenol. I mean, the last I checked, I think that's what they recommend to pregnant women. It's usually recommended to everybody and anybody. It's kind of.
I remember they was talking about that not too long ago. About this shit. It was like back last year.
It's like the safe painkiller for whatever your ailment might be, right? But now it has come out that Tylenol is linked to autism. Lots of people laughed at that and said that's not true. And we see videos of women popping Tylenol pills while pregnant. So let's get into the actual science of this, how this was discovered that Tylenol could be a link. Are there other links? Are there other things that cause autism? That's obvious. Obviously, that's another big question. So I guess start with that one. Is Tylenol the only cause of autism, or is this just one of the causes?
Well, based on the scientific evidence, it's fairly clear that, and I'll clarify this, but it's clear that Tylenol by itself cannot cause autism spectrum disorder, or autism as we call it. So it's only in susceptible individuals, and we know what that susceptibility looks like. It's, you know, a lot of drugs, right? They don't hurt some people, and they hurt other people that are susceptible. So Tylenol is the same thing. And when we say Tylenol, we really mean acetaminophen. Some, you know, Tylenol is a brand name, acetaminophen is their drug name, and some of the most dangerous time, and we'll get into this, is not during pregnancy. It's, for example, the worst time during labor and delivery, when you clamp the umbilical cord and the brand new baby gets it. So the drug, when it's administered during labor and delivery, is not Tylenol brand, but it's acetaminophen. But the point is here that, yeah, we know that the Tylenol and susceptibility, which is, it's complicated, it's mostly genetic, there's a lot of environment that goes into it. Those two things combined together, the evidence is extremely compelling. We call it overwhelming evidence, very clear conclusions that Tylenol can trigger autism spectrum disorder in susceptible individuals.
Okay, let's talk about that susceptibility then first, and then we'll talk about how Tylenol does that. Because then, if you figured that out, then there must be other things that trigger it as well, I would think. And that you could maybe figure that out by kind of looking at the connection or something. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, so I'm just guessing here. But what is is autism actually genetic then, if there is like a susceptibility factor, kind of like the BRCA gene for breast cancer, for example?
Right. So it's, instead of thinking about breast cancer, I would think more about, say, cigarette smoking. So cigarette smoking, if you look at lung cancer and cigarette smoking, there's a huge connection. But genetics, in large part, determine whether or not you're going to get lung cancer from cigarette smoking. So it's kind of the same deal with Tylenol and autism. Genetics, in large part, determines whether you're going to have we call it an adverse neurodevelopmental reaction, severe neurodevelopmental reaction to Tylenol, and that's mostly determined by genetics. So if you took away the Tylenol, you would take away that specific reaction. And so, in a nutshell, what we think of is that alcohol is much to fetal alcohol spectrum disorder as acetaminophen or Tylenol is to autism spectrum disorder. In fact, both of those drugs are by themselves safe. It's our own body, whether you're a fetus or whether you're a 90-year-old person, our own body converts both of those into what we call a toxic metabolite. You start out with alcohol or with acetaminophen, Tylenol. It's not toxic, and then your body's trying to metabolize it, trying to get rid of it because it's a foreign substance, and it converts it into something that's toxic. And it's actually the same enzyme. It's called cytochrome P452E1, but it doesn't matter. It's the same enzyme that converts alcohol and Tylenol into this toxic substance. So the issue that you're asking about here is, well, what makes you susceptible? Well, there's so many things that can make you. It's something that we call oxidative stress, but I mean, oxidative stress is just basically means you're forcing more Tylenol into this dangerous pathway, and you can't handle it.
I'm gonna stop right there because I'm about to fall asleep. Listen to this. I am really about to fall asleep. Shit, I'm glad I didn't. But I was like, just head dropping. I'm like, shit, wake up. Anyway, you want to watch the rest of it or watch some of it? Because damn, 1 hour long, man. You can you can watch it. You go to title up, they go to channel. Let's get to the next one. Shit.
Did you guys even know this was going on?
So we have a strange warning for San Diego, California residents today. If you're in San Diego, California, you might not want to get into the water at the beach anytime soon. We're hearing today that Tijuana, Mexico, has released 100 metric tons, 100 billion metric tons of doo-doo water into
doo-doo water. And man, look at this shit. Look at the seal.
The ocean.
You can see why the seal's trying to kill these motherfuckers. Bat shit crazy, or seal shit crazy. Or either they just mad because you niggas fucked up my environment. The seal just that motherfucker mad. He like, you motherfuckers fucked up my environment. My wife just had children, and them children came out with autism and shit, or either dead and shit, and all that dumping doo-doo and shit, you fucking niggas. Anyway,
enough
doo-doo in the water and on the seals.
Water that NASA issued a warning saying they can see it from space. So if you're anywhere near San Diego and
that shit, doo-doo water,
you're thinking about getting into the beach or going into the ocean, you might not want to do that for the next I don't know how long, but the residents out there are pretty upset. The ones who have the mansions and things of that nature, they're pretty upset. They're walking outside of their homes, looking onto that beach and seeing metric tons of doo-doo water. So be careful. And I'm out.
Now you guys think that's bad? Well, it gets even worse.
Still trying to get the fuck out. He like, man, you motherfuckers keep dumping shit in the water.
You see these guys, this is the EPA with their big old cheesy grin, holding up their update for the quarter, stating that they've got a solution, but you won't believe who pays for it. You do. And I'm sure somewhere in there, somebody's lining their pockets, some politician. But yeah, we're actually pretty fortunate in the United States. We've got a lot in place to keep our waters pretty good. It's not like that in the rest of the world. A lot of Asian countries.
Well, Yeah, there's a lot of Asian countries. A lot of these dumping is coming from the UK or America. Yeah.
上面居然有人把大海当作垃圾场，直接把垃圾倾倒到海里面。通过航拍，我们可以很清晰的看到，这个垃圾就是由人类居住的区域通过一条路直接到山顶，然后从这个悬崖上面直接倾倒下来。这个垃圾堆它的角度是非常大的，因为它的根部是被海水潮涨潮落所侵蚀的，所以说这个垃圾只会保留这个规模，你倒的再多，它都被冲走了。
Not sure what he's saying, but it sure looks like they just take a big pile of trash.
Not sure what he's saying, but you see the text right there, dumbass. Fucking, you see, read that shit.
And their garbage and just push it right into the ocean, right over the edge. I mean, this is viral all over the media. I'm just bringing awareness to you guys how, like, what it really looks like. And I've got another thing I want to show you at the end, because the surprising part is that us as U.S. citizens, you know, as they make decisions for us, and I don't know what else you would do to.
Well, shit, when we got the righteous rulers ruling the world, we'll have a perfect solution for all this shit. First off, we got to get rid of Edomites. Yes. We got to get rid of the devil. That's the main source. And we can use them damn devils to clean up this all this fucking shit. Yeah, all you heathens, really. Use all you heathens to clean up all this shit.
To help this situation, but we have to pay for it. I'll show you that. This video right here, it reads.
What happens when the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. And look what the wicked, I mean, you got people, yeah, you got regular folks contributing to this shit. But damn, you got righteous rulers supposed to set an example, but they doing a piss ass job setting an example on how to manage and control the world.
This is absolutely crazy. This is
instead they want to just destroy it.
The Great Pacific Garbage Patch. But this area, specifically in Guatemala, Mexico, you can see how much plastic bottles and other plastic waste ends up in our oceans. It is very good to stay informed of this, for you to be cautious of every decision that you make. Like I've said in the past, so it's really easy to complain about a lot of things here in America, but if you're a world traveler, you realize how good America can be. Even though it's circling the drain in a lot of areas, there's a lot of other places out there that are a lot worse. What does the cruise ship do with all their waste? I'll show you that in a second, but right here I found this video too. It's really good.
As you can see, they don't care if it's plastic, metal, whatever it is, they just pour it right into the deep blue sea. Anybody that complains about the United States of America and our trash, please send them this video so they can realize that the United States is far from the biggest culprit of pollution. By the way, there's 2 rivers that most of our pollution comes into the ocean from, and guess what country that is? I'll tell you, it starts with a C. 2 rivers, 90% of all the pollution. But the United States spends more money than any other country on waste removal.
So that's interesting. One of the big sea countries right here. I'm not sure if you ever caught this, but this is kind of a big shocker. And to know that our seafood comes from this same place?
Japan says its plan to dump treated nuclear wastewater into the ocean is safe. Japan has a problem.
It says sea country. This is a J country. Japan. Anyway.
So big that it can no longer be contained. Literally. The country is planning to release 1.3 million.
Yeah, all that damn radiation.
Million metric tons of treated radioactive.
That's what I'm saying. All that damn, these heathens fucking up the planet. These niggas need to go, bro. I mean, not go, like, disappear, be gone. I mean, go into chains and go into slavery.
Wastewater into the Pacific Ocean and neighboring countries.
Go out there and clean shit up. I don't give a fuck. The shit is radioactive. Goddamn, you gotta jump in that water, suck up some of that water, try to be a filter or something.
Countries are concerned. In 2011, a tsunami triggered by a massive earthquake flooded nuclear reactors at the Fukushima Daiichi plant and knocked out its cooling systems. Officials have been trying to cool the destroyed reactors by pumping over 100 tons of water through them daily. The water is treated to remove most radioactive waste and is then stored in these tanks. But with more than 1.3 million tons in the tank.
I can't stand this. Goddamn, do we have to see you, nigga? Your reaction? I can't stand these fucking videos. We got to see the whole. This nigga took up all this shit. Just, I want to see the serious shit. I want to see most of the serious stuff on this side. I don't want to see you, motherfucker.
Shit. Japan is running out of space, so it expects.
See like half and take the screen, yeah, to shrink them down to a little box, so I can see the rest of everything else being shown.
To release the water into the ocean this spring or summer. Some in Japan are upset about this plan. Neighboring countries like China, South Korea, and the Pacific Island nations, which have a legacy of being the world's dumping ground for nuclear waste, have also condemned the proposed release.
Yeah, Esau. Yeah, that nuclear bomb.
Countries claim that it can have damaging effects on both the environment and humans. Some scientists also say it isn't safe, and worry that radioactive waste hasn't been removed properly from the water. In 2020, a study found that 70% of the stored wastewater needed to be retreated because it failed to meet regulatory standards. They also say TEPCO, which used to run the power plant, provided flawed data, such as incomplete measurements on radionuclides in the water. Other scientists disagree, and TEPCO denies this. They claim the plant's safe because the wastewater will be diluted to 1/100th of its concentration before it's released, meaning levels of radioactivity would be very low. Also, they note that before the release, the water will be tested again to make sure that it meets regulatory standards.
Yeah, right. I wonder who's doing that testing and who's paying for that testing, right? Got lots of questions. You know that radioactive pollution water that I think it was Japan was planning on putting into the ocean, but there was a lot of neighboring countries and controversial over. Did they ever dump that into the ocean? They said it was going to be in the spring of, I think, last year or something like that.
Yeah, they probably did.
Yes, they did begin releasing that treated water. Starting in August 2023, Japan began discharging purified wastewater from the Fukushima Daiichi plant into the Pacific. And this process is continuing over about 30 years. By 2025, multiple rounds of treated water had been released, all confirmed by the International Atomic Energy Agency to be well within safety limits. While some neighboring countries and fishing groups were cautious, scientific monitoring shows no significant radiological impact, and even trade restrictions are easing.
So don't worry, the atomic
no radiological impact.
Atomic Energy Agency says it's okay. And here's another really interesting one, the cruise ships. This was very interesting to me, and I think it'll be interesting to you.
I guess they're dumping shit down the ocean.
And then after that, I'll show you about kind of what America's doing about it, and it's kind of at your cost. So check it out.
This is how massive cruise ships handle their wastewater. You might be wondering, does dumping that filthy water straight into the ocean really not pollute it? A single cruise ship has thousands of toilets on board, generating hundreds of tons of waste every single day, and these ships often sail for long stretches without stopping. So, to save time, most cruise lines release that wastewater directly into the sea. But here's the twist, it's not raw sewage they're dumping. Before discharge, the wastewater goes through a full treatment process. It's filtered and broken down to remove harmful elements before it's finally released into open water.
Right, but why does it look so brown? Come on, bruh. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't know. You guys buy it? It's still looking
fucking filter. Nigga, please, they gonna dump it pure 100% shit water or shit out of there.
Pretty chocolatey brown. Good lord. All right, these two with two big old shiggy, big old grins. They are super proud of themselves. I don't know how much money gets funneled through this. EPA releases quarterly update on implementation of 100% solution to permanently end the Tijuana River sewage crisis. So, in short, for decades, millions of gallons of sewage have crossed the border into the United States, contaminating beaches, closing coastlines, and affecting communities in Southern California. So, what's happening here is, according to the EPA, the U.S. is investing taxpayer dollars alongside Mexico to build pump stations, repair sewer lines, and expand wastewater treatment in effort to finally stop the crisis. That raises an important question. Should American taxpayers be helping pay to fix infrastructure that's largely located in another country? Or should Mexico bear that financial responsibility? That's the question. Put your answer down in the comments. I might get mixed answers. I want to see what you guys think. Maybe you think we just need to step it up and do it and pay it with our tax money. Maybe you guys are totally against it. Put it in the comments, let me know. But really, supporters argue that the pollution doesn't stop at the border. So investing now protects American beaches, public health, tourism, and military.
Man, get the fuck out of here, nigga. Shut up. Man, meanwhile, America goddamn sending they garbage and trash to other countries. The fuck out of here. And then, plus, they ain't got no solution when it comes to they waste, they shit, doo-doo, water and waste. What they do, they sell that shit as fertilizer. And that be that PFAS fertilizer crap. They kills the soil, people can't grow, it fucks over. And pretty much they fucked over a lot of farmers because of this shit. And farmers, ranchers, yeah. Anyway, this place polluted, it sucks, man. This is what happens when the earth is given to the hands of wicked. When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, man. The animals mourning too, the earth is mourning. Mark, I can't even talk right now. Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. Place to destroy you spiritually, mentally, and physically. Man, I'm so drowsy right now. While the land and the water being polluted, let's see what they're talking about the air.
What did we do to our skies? Like, I remember being a kid and just looking up and being in total awe. The beautiful clouds against the blue sky. It was just amazing. I'd spend my summers just staring at the sky and looking for animal shapes in the clouds. And that's what the sky looked like. But now I've seen it all over the place. You look up, whether it's your own sky or the videos you're seeing across the nation, and the sky is just crisscrosses of chemtrails, just filling the skies with concoctions that very few people are ever allowed to even gather and analyze. And most people, they just don't look up anymore. Or maybe they do, but they just think it's always been that way. But how did we get here? Like, how did America's skies turn from beautiful blue to just crisscrossed government gray? And who's involved with this? And how far back does it actually go? So my guest today has answers to those questions and more. So his name is Peter Kirby, and he's a researcher, he's a writer, he's an activist. So obviously we're talking about your book behind you, Chemtrails Exposed, New Manhattan Projects. There's a lot to get into with that. But before we jump into that, though, I actually, you and I were chatting before we started recording and just talking about censorship. And I think that when you think censorship, people think, okay, people being deplatformed, they're being kicked off of Twitter, etc. But what I was sharing with you is what I've seen. So I'm an independent podcaster. I'm funded by really through my own initiatives and through really the readers and the listeners and the watchers of the show. And so I say whatever I want to. That gets me in trouble sometimes, but I like having that freedom. I don't do well with authority. And but there's a lot of really big people that have come into the space in the past couple of years that have huge reach, that you think, okay, how is it they're getting 400,000 views on every Twitter post, and they've got 10 million YouTube subscribers now, and there's a club, right? That's the thing, is that that's the only way to put it. There's a glass ceiling that you either get invited into it or kind of plucked into it or blackmailed into it, but there's something there. And I just want to see your thoughts on that, because you're coming at this from a different angle as an author, touching subjects that the mainstream doesn't want to acknowledge and is oftentimes attacking. So what are your thoughts on that?
No, you're striking a rich vein here, Seth. I'm somebody who's been in the new media since before there was new media. I mean, I'm somebody who was selling little pamphlets that me and my buddy put together in high school for $1 in the halls. You know what I mean? I'm somebody who made videos and was selling them out of my taxi cab. Because I had like a little plaque that had like an advertisement for a video. I'm like, here, take a look at this. It's a documentary about the San Francisco taxi cab industry, and I sold copies. And I had an article written about me in this little throwaway newspaper in San Francisco called the San Francisco. Oh, I forget what it was. No, it was a giveaway newspaper. But yeah, that was my first interview. That happened in like 2000, 2001. I mean, I got started in this thing that we call
Independent. They'll come in and they'll have Lee Zeldin. There was a lot of this energy and this belief that the Trump administration was going to stop geoengineering, and you had even statewide bans happening. It was Tennessee, you had Florida, you had various states that were saying, hey, we're going to end this. But also I think that when you look at those levels at the national or the state level, it's almost, you have to believe that the initiative and the funding is coming from the federal or the state level. But my own research has shown me that this is a much bigger system. This isn't just about what a state can do.
All right, I'm gonna stop right there, man. I ain't gonna play all this. If you want to, they go to the title of the video, they go to channel. Let's see what's going on in Australia. Talking about Melbourne cancer therapy shows 100% lab cure rate, whatever.
So researchers in Melbourne have been given almost $18 million by the federal government to progress their breakthrough therapy, which has shown an almost 100% cure rate treating solid tumours in the lab. Joining me now is co-head of the Peter MacCallum Cancer Centre's
These guys look like somebody that looks like an Edomite.
Immunology program and head of the Beavis lab at Peter Mac, Professor Paul Beavis. Professor, good afternoon to you. What is this therapy? How does it work?
But I'm not saying he is an Edomite. He just looks like the tip, anyway.
Hi, Hugh. Thanks for having me on today. So we're working on a type of immune-based therapy for cancer where a patient's own immune cells are engineered to be able to target the cancer cells through specific proteins that the cancer cells express. And what we've done is to take this one step further with an additional engineering step, which allows the CAR T cells, the immune cells of the patient, to locally release more proteins that activate the immune system so that you get a
Oh, here we go. Yeah, he's an Edomite. Anyway.
Bigger response against the tumour cells.
And when we talk about 100% cure rate, that is remarkable. That is amazing.
But is it happening in real life? They claiming it. Because what did he say? I thought it was definite.
Have you seen anything like this before?
Yeah, so this is all obviously done in the lab still. So this funding will allow us to trial this in patients. So that will be
it happened. It didn't happen yet. It ain't happening in the patients yet.
The true test for this therapy, but we are really excited with this type of therapy in the lab settings. I've been working on this type of therapy for about 15 years, and these are some of the most exciting results that we've seen.
Okay, if it carries through in the human trials, what could this mean for cancer sufferers?
So originally, this funding will sort of allow us to test this in a small number of patients with myeloma. And what we're hoping to show, first of all, that this is safe in patients and that will provide proof of principle for larger trials, and eventually tackling solid tumours such as breast and lung cancer, where these take up to about 90% of all cancer cases. And that's where we're sort of really trying to make breakthroughs.
Okay, what's the timeline here? How many years into the future are we possibly seeing this being used in a
God dang. We be here too long, like 5-10 years, we all be damn dead. And speaking of that, the time moving fast, that last video I'm gonna get to speaks about that.
true clinical setting?
So this funding period is up to 5 years. So we're sort of hoping to enrol.
Yeah, we'll be dead. But
Our first patient.
I'm speaking as man, but 5 years from now, everything will be dead. All the animals, all pretty much living organisms.
Within 4 to 5 years. Within those 4 years, we'll be optimizing the conditions to grow this in a way, or to make these cells in a way that we can give them to patients safely.
Okay, and how important is this funding? Would this be happening without this money you've received?
Alright, man, this devil just can't stop it. You ain't trying to kill you or heal you. And that healing gonna be a process of killing you. Let's get to the next one.
When was the last time you read a book? If it was this month or this year, then you're already part of the exception. Recent studies show a staggering decline in reading books.
And probably reason why, because people just, I don't know, it's so much shit.
Contrast, there's a sharp increase in other media consumption, particularly short-form videos.
We're actually now sort of finding it much harder to focus on a book, even if we wanted to.
Yeah, hard to focus. Food is I would say the things we consume is making us more slower and dumber. It doesn't affect everybody, but it does affect somebody. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. But living in this society, it's all about death. I don't know what the best way to say it.
So I really think it's a change in technology.
Rose Horowitz recently wrote a viral article titled "The End of Reading is Here," and she explored a phenomenon you're probably familiar with: ever shorter attention spans, difficulties concentrating for longer periods, and struggles dealing with complex ideas.
Yes, so this is a trend that's been going on for a long time, and it sort of started with the television, which crowded out time that people used to spend reading. I think by 1985, the average American household spent 7 hours a day in front of the TV. So it just substitutes in a lot of time. Then, with streaming and internet and smartphones, it becomes, even harder to find time to sit down with a book.
Does something to your brain.
And I argue that over time, these social media platforms, which might have initially been kind of text dominant, are now switching to short form videos, and that's kind of getting us so accustomed to switching between different frames, switching between something if it doesn't immediately grab our attention, that we're actually now sort of finding it much harder to focus on a book, even if we wanted to. So I really think it's a change in technology.
And rather than just being a cultural
issue I have. The only book I want to read is the Bible, and it's hard for me to even focus. And sometimes I want to read, but then I know I need to read, but sometimes I don't want to. And I gotta force myself to read.
blip. This might signal a watershed moment in human civilization.
Yes, so in my article, I argue that we're entering a post-literate society. And, we know from the statistics that, people are reading much less than they used to. The share of Americans who read a book or an article on any given day has declined by 40% over the past 2 decades. And, I think what's significant about that is not just, the decline in people reading a few different books, but really that we are having a wholesale movement away from text. And I argue in the piece that the communications media that we use kind of shape the way we interact with one another. They shape the way we think and take in information. They shape the way our politics and culture work. And so I argue that, this isn't just, the, share of people who read is going down some. It is a wholesale shift.
Now, she argues the current shift is pretty significant and not in a good way. So could this be a slide into idiocracy or even into an...
Yes, idiocracy for sure. Oh, especially since he brought that up. People are being dumber and dumber, and just being dumbed down. Oh yeah, and toxic waste, and trash landfills and shit everywhere, just like in the movie. The foul bread, just like in the movie. Anyway.
New Dark Age.
Yes, so I talked about the Library of Alexandria at the beginning and the end of my piece, and I wanted to use that because the sort of story for years among historians was that this library was destroyed by an act of war, and this amazing place of knowledge, Caesar burned it when he came to Alexandria, and that started the Dark Ages. But actually, the more recent kind of consensus among historians is that there was no external act that destroyed the library. The library was destroyed because nobody cared enough to maintain it. It was neglected. And so it wasn't that the library was destroyed and then we had the Dark Ages. We knew the Dark Ages were here because nobody cared enough to maintain the library. And I was sort of trying to argue that something similar is happening now because we can still read. We might be reading more words each day with emails and text messages and social media posts, but we're not taking the time to really, engage with rich and complex texts. And so that's what I meant by the darkness gathering again.
Right, so that's the cultural diagnosis. Here's the biological one.
We don't spend so much time, I think, on social media because we like it or find it rewarding. We spend that time because we have been hacked.
Anders Hansen is a Swedish psychiatrist and best-selling author who spent years researching what screens do to the brain. And to understand the hack, he says,
like I said, your neurological, it's all about your brain. Hey, with these motherfuckers, the screens, and then they do, what else they'll do? If it's different type of monitors or whatever, it puts off like frequency or some shit, but then also subliminal stuff they do. Esau masters and all kind of shit.
Start with a fact most of us never consider, that reading is unnatural.
The brain never evolved for reading. We've had written language for just 5,000 years, and that is a very short time for evolution. So we don't have a reading center dedicated in the brain. Learning to read is nothing that is genetically pre-programmed. It's something that we have to practice, and that probably makes it more reversible. It's vulnerable to decline if we don't use it as much.
Vulnerable to decline. That means a skill humanity spent 5,000 years building can be unlearned if it's not actively trained. So what happens to a society that loses this capacity?
We've had a huge increase in IQ during the last 100 years. If you do...
Didn't he just say IQ? The volume is so low I can't hardly hear it. I'm trying my best. Well, anyway, IQ, whatever. Anyway, I ain't gonna play no more of this. If you want to watch the rest of it, be my guest. They go to the title of it, they go to channel. Yep. I mean, people are getting dumb. And shit, I mean, that's another thing. When the earth is being ruled by wicked individuals, the people get dumber and dumber. Because they want people to be dumber and dumber. They don't want nobody to read and research and all that shit. Especially not read the Bible and getting closer to your power. Calling them their true names. And I know God or Jeebus, but Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. Let's get this last one.
A whole Saturday of baking in one bag. The rustic oven, the bread you'd make if you made bread.
I wonder, has anyone else noticed how strange time started to feel? It genuinely seems like years are collapsing into months now. Months into weeks, and weeks into days.
Now shit want to start buffering.
Sometimes the whole day passes and you can barely feel like you were even inside that day. And honestly, I don't think it's a midlife crisis or just getting older type of argument anymore, because lately everywhere I look, people are talking about the same thing. You wake up already exhausted. Not just your body, but your entire being. And before you even had a chance to open your eyes and taste the first sip of your morning coffee, you're already behind, late to your own life. I mean, how is it already end of May? Of 2026? Like, where did the time go? And I started noticing something else this past few years too. Sometimes I would grab my phone to check the time, and then for a split second it would say something like, I don't know, 12:51, and then it would immediately jump to 1:16. It's like as if the time has just skipped forward right in front of me. And yes, that might be some software glitches or network signal errors, whatever it might be. But I never used to pay attention to things like that before, and I worked in tech. That's part of why this feels so strange to me, because back then, my life was far more demanding than it is right now. When I moved to Hawaii a few years ago, I worked at 2 startups, juggling projects across US, Europe, Australia. So I was basically living across multiple different time zones simultaneously. Some days I was online from 4:30 a.m. until 9 at night. And I was also consulting and mentoring designers on the side. And still somehow, I still managed to find time for yoga, hiking, attending church groups, even tennis a few times a week. The only thing that I neglected so badly was me. My body was sleep deprived and malnourished all the time. My soul was exhausted from constantly fighting against things that felt so deeply wrong to me. And my nervous system was just fried from the burnout that I just had to hit the hard stop and step away from tech to reconsider my life seriously and think about how I want to give and show up moving forward. There was hardly any presence in that life, but somehow time felt so much more structured back then. Technically, I have more freedom now because I'm not employed full-time, but I don't have more time. Sometimes I sit down to answer a few messages or comments for what it feels like, 20 minutes, and then suddenly 3 hours disappear. Or I go to a yoga class in the morning and I take the walk back through the park and maybe stop at the grocery store on my way home, and half a day is gone and I have not even had breakfast yet. I don't know, sometimes it makes me genuinely wonder, how are we supposed to hold all of this? Careers, relationships, family responsibilities, if you have kids, creative pursuits, your well-being, your health, and maybe even saving the world on your lunch break. I think a lot of people are walking with this feeling of, I should have more time for life than this. It's like we're constantly trying.
I be trying to. It be feeling like that every day. And I be like, man, I gotta hurry up and find some time to do some work for the Lord, man. Fuck all this dumb shit. I could have did some more yards today. I didn't want to. I be like, man, fuck this shit, man. Cause the moment I'm done doing yard work, then I won't have much. It felt like I won't have much time doing work for Yahweh Shema Shah. And time moving so fast. I don't know how to say it, but I'm just ready for this shit to come to an end.
Trying to catch up to our own lives. And I personally don't recall feeling so intensely this way in times before the lockdown. It's just something about the way we experience life after 2020 feels altered. As if life started to move so much faster than our ability to actually live it. And honestly, I don't think there is one simple explanation for it. It's probably multiple things happening all at once. And part of this could be aging perception to some degree, yes. But also part of that is just how demanding our modern life has become. I think social media, internet, and technology have completely changed the structure of human attention.
Well, actually, it's the Lord in that. Anyway, I'm going to end the video because I don't know what she turned off. But talking about, I was just curious to play a little bit of this video, but I'm already like 1 hour in. Damn, time going by fast. I thought it was like 50 something minutes. No, it's 1 hour going by already. And 2 minutes. But I'm gonna close it out. If you want to watch the rest of the video, be my guest. They go to title, they go to channel. So everything jacked up from the food, the water, the air, and these niggas talking about some, oh, we got a cure for cancer. No, you don't, nigga. Stop lying. Anyway, and people can't hardly read because, it's shit. Yeah. Anyway, I can't even hardly. I'm trying to figure out what can I say, and my words of choice is just very low. That's why we need new bodies, man, because we be here too long, we ain't gonna make it. We ain't gonna make it at all, man. We already in pain, dealing with shit, ailments. Me right now, I'm just like, damn. This shit sucks, man. Sitting down, and then you can't hardly use the this shit hurts. Matthew chapter 24, verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. And except them days be short, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect say them days shall be short. So Lord speeding up the time for his people, the elect of his people. And people wondering why. There was some videos, some brothers did videos, and they had people that had no clue why time moving so fast. And that's the reason why, because the Lord is speeding up time for his people. We pray the Lord speed up the time to get this place over and out of here, and they're doing it. Heck yeah, they're doing it. It's not like it's really, really fast, but it's pretty fast, and you got people talking about it. But anyway, man, shoot. That's all I got to say, man. But things all jacked up, but the Lord gonna take care of it, and he's speeding up the time in the process. So anyway, man, seek Yahweh by Shema Shah by seeking his prophets and take heed what to say and try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh by Shema Shah by praying Yahweh by Shema Shah, praising Yahweh by Shema Shah, worshiping Yahweh by Shema Shah, fearing Yahweh by Shema Shah, repenting Yahweh by Shema Shah. To all the men out there pushing this truth and nothing but the truth in the name, spirit, and power, Yahweh by Shema Shah. Keep on preaching, keep on teaching, keep your faith and trust on Yahweh by Shema Shah. Stay humble. And for you few sisters out there taking heed, keep your faith and trust on Yahweh Shema Shah. Stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order Yahweh Shema Shah. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and all praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Shalom.